What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Hi! Welcome back. Happy New Year! Ooh, this went a lot better than I thought, but this went a lot different in my head. But anyways, Happy New Year, guys. No, you are not watching a pre-recorded show. It's the first time I've been back since the new year. So I wanted to, it's okay. I wanted to just bring in the new year and say Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to Clean Greens Living, broadcasting here live on Rainier Avenue Radio. If you don't know who it is your host, Queen Bree. And I know some of you guys are noticing that there is something missing in this show. Shh. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to get to why there's background noise in my house in a second. But anyways, as I was saying, we are celebrating a new year. And if you notice, handsome man Chris Perry isn't in the house today, but not to fret, ladies. He will be back. He is just on a little hiatus, but he will be back. He's taking care of some business. And so it's just me today. And I'm super excited. Well, me and the kids in the background, if you hear. If you notice, I'm not in studio today, and it's for a good reason. Happy New Year, Deacon Janet. We'll talk offline. He's out taking handling some business, so he's going to be gone for a second, but I'm super excited. I'm here, so don't run. I'm here, so it's just going to be me for a few weeks. But as you know, when we are here, and it's me and Chris, we always do a question of the day. So my question of the day is the new year, and it's always the beginning, and we do these things where we're like, what are your new year goals? So does anybody have any new year goals this year that they want to share, or anything that they are, what's the word? Reflect on last year, things that happened that were good for them. Like, I know a lot of people were always like 2024 was a bad year for them, but I feel like 2024 was a really good year for me. I know there were some things that happened to me in 2024, but I feel like they were all good to my growth. So, like, one of them, update, it is literally a new year, a new Bree. I ended up moving. And so today I'm not in the studio because I am tired. Okay. Tired. I moved the last week of December, and I have been trying to unpack and get used to how quiet it is. I am no longer a city of Seattle resident. Like, what does that even mean for me at this point? But I'm super excited. I love the new place. Right, right. It just feels so weird. However, I love my new place, and I have this huge backyard that is I'm going to do a garden, and I'm super excited that I have the space for my doggies to run free. And I'm excited that I get to have a garden, and I'm going to be showing and sharing pictures as I go and as I start. Deacon Janice said one of her goals is being more intentional. That nice. That was my goal last year too, is like be more in the moment, because life is happening, and it's just like sometimes we get so used to the hustle and bustle, we never get to really explore and sit in our accomplishments. Like, I was just me and Daniel was just talking. I was like, how is it that I am nervous? Like, I haven't been doing this. And he's like, you've been doing this 182 shows. 182 shows. This is wild. This is wild. But being able to sit in these moments and be intentional and just sit in your accomplishments are certain things that you want to change or do. So thank you for sharing. I'm Deacon Janet. If anybody else is in the audience and want to share your goal, New Year goals, share what you did. Or one time, I don't know if you guys just answered to him because he's handsome man Perry, but one time somebody told us where they from. So if you're listening, tell us where you're listening from. So it's new year, new me. I can say that now because it really is a new year, new me. Like, I'm in a new place. I was in a new place before the new year. I have been doing things differently. Like, I'm literally being intentional, Deacon Janet, about my unpacking. Like, I am actually unpacking and putting things where they need to go, because I recognize that your space also contributes to how you feel. And we're always talking about on Clean Greens, um, eating healthy, mental health and exercise and what that means, but that starts with a good space, right? And I've noticed anything can happen in a month, a lot can happen in 2 weeks. I found out that our landlord sold his place at and the week of Thanksgiving, and by the end of December, we were moving. And it's like, first of all, ain't God good? Let's shout out to how God is good because we found out the week of Thanksgiving we had to move. And there was some confusion around it. So, can we just talk a moment about Seattle landlords and renters and how they treat people? Like, I found out November 27th that we had 90 days to move, but then the new owners thought that we had already had the 90 days and they were thinking we were going to be out by the end of December. So we had to work it out amongst ourselves. And I just wanted to honor them because I didn't want to be the burden that they were left with because the old landlord sold them this place with the thought that we would be out by December. So we worked with God and we prayed and we moved. But landlords, this is crazy how I have experienced renting in Seattle with landlords and how they treat people. Um, Everyone is like, there has been growth in my life. So there was a point where I was on Section 8 and a landlord treated us a certain way because we were on Section 8. Like the building, like the outside of the house looked pretty, the inside when you go in looked pretty, but there was some foundational issues that were happening inside the house. So we had to move within a year. Like it was bad flooding. The washer and dryer, we had like three washers while we stayed there. And because we were on Section 8, the landlord was trying to make it seem like it was our fault. Turns out it was his contractor's fault. Turns out it was a manufacturer's fault. It was never our fault. And it's the way that you treat people when they're on Section 8, the way that people get treated when they don't have the credit or the income in Seattle has got to be addressed. This is crazy. I'm just thankful for God for growth that I was able to find a place. I was able to pay. Oh my God, y'all. I paid moving costs out of my own pockets. I am proud, yet I am sad because I paid first, last, and a deposit out of my own pockets. So sitting in that moment of I have where I've come from and where I'm at now, I'm super proud of myself. And you know what? I was telling Daniel, I gotta talk my ish more because I have come a long ways. I have grown a lot. And last year, my goal was to sit back, seek God more, and be grounded because I was just hustling and bustling and getting caught up in hustle culture where for through 2.5 years I would end the year stressed out and burnt out. And this year I didn't end the year stressed out and burnt out. So I can say that is a goal that I actually accomplished. And going through that, it made me realize the importance of goals. In the beginning, I used to didn't believe in goals. I used to be like, it's stupid, it's overwhelming, I cannot do goals, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know what that mindset came from, but goal planning is something, and I think that we all need to be intentional about our goal planning. So this year, I have a new set of goals, and new set of goals is talking, not being humble. I am going to be humble before God, y'all. So don't worry, but I am going to walk more in knowing who I am and the things that I have accomplished and what I have done. I am going to start a garden. I'm super excited about starting that garden in the backyard. You know what? I have kids here. I mentioned I have kids here. We moved and I'm in the process of switching their schools. And now I can't find nothing. Like, I feel like one of my kids went off with my phone. I can't find my phone to talk about my notes. But, anyways, um, tell me about it, Daniel. But I love my little boogers, so I won't talk too much noise about them. Um, so another goal is to start a garden. And I am going to, last year we talked about starting a garden, but we didn't show pictures and we didn't walk you through it. So if anybody is wanting to start the garden with me and in your own house. start the garden with me and tips and tools. Over this next couple of months, I'm going to be starting my gardening and just telling you guys, giving you resources of things that I found to help me. But I really want to be one with nature. It's so important to have a clean space. So another goal is to have a clean and organized space, which is a challenge when you have younger children at home. My son the other day was like, "Are you turning into your mom?" Because I was getting on them about cleaning up their room and cleaning up their spaces and nagging. And you know what? I said, "You're right. I am turning into my mom, and that's okay because we need a clean space in order to be able to accomplish our goals and to feel good mentally and spiritually and to be able to find stuff." So that is a goal, clean space and a garden. And I wanted to share this with you guys, and I'm going to share the resources as I go about why, for some of the reasons I want to start a garden. One, cheaper groceries. Two, I know where my groceries came from. I grew them myself. Um, it came right out of the back garden. It didn't travel around trucks. This is another reason why we stress the fact of supporting our local farmers because you get the food fresher. The food isn't always fresh when you get it from the store, and it tastes a lot better when you get it from a garden. So, having your own garden, touching soil releases serotonin. Growing plants increases self-esteem. Garden tasks reduces ADHD symptoms, which I have. Okay. Walking among plants eases anxiety. Getting dirt under your nails improve gut health. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. So look, I'm about to be getting these nails dirty. I took off my little fancy nails and I'm just going to be in the garden. They still probably gonna get painted, but no, I probably shouldn't paint them if I'm gonna be in the garden. Having a garden can actually make you happy. Like I said, last year, one of my goals was to step back and just not do anything extra and enjoy the moments that I have instead of getting caught up in hustle culture. And a lot of times you can get caught up in hustle culture and never have time to address your accomplishments to where you don't even realize the things that you're getting done and you're always hard on yourself, which causes stress, which causes anxiety. So me, this next year, as I step back to get away from hustle culture and seek God and seek what it is He wanted me to do, this year, I'm taking what I learned and applying it to Clean Greens, applying it to my garden, and applying it to my coaching services. Um, Bree Living, Woman on the Rise coaching services. If you guys are looking for a coach, I'm your girl. Anyways, back to goal planning. A lot of people get anxiety about goal planting. I should say goal planting because we're going to be goal planting. You're planting seeds for your future when you're goal setting. A lot can happen in 2 weeks. I have seen God do some stuff in 2 weeks, in a month. And I think that when we start goal planning, we can write down all the things we want to accomplish, which I did. Another good tip, I seen this thing on Instagram, don't remember where, but it was like, write out, tell AI your goals, and AI will complete a calendar for you or like a step-by-step guide on how you can accomplish your goals. And I did that. I did kind of realize that I was like, girl, you got a whole bunch of goals you want to accomplish, but it doesn't mean I have to accomplish it this year. But AI, if you guys have AI, and I know we feel some kind of way about AI. However, it did help me get like a basic of where I wanted to start with my goal planning. I should go back to them about my gardening and how I should start. AI, y'all. So yeah, so I did that and it broke it down to me. But also keep in mind when you're goal planning, like I said, you don't have to accomplish just all in a year. Life is a journey. It is not a race. You're not racing to get anywhere. Like I tell people all the time, you can race to get somewhere, but once you get there, you're going to want to race to get somewhere else. And it's just going to be this whole dog chasing your tail trying to get somewhere. So I think the important things that we need to understand is when we're setting our goals and when we're talking about the new year, and this is why a lot of people get burnt out and just give up. Like, they say gym memberships skyrocket at the beginning of the year. Some gyms even have like backup um, equipment that they bring out at the beginning of the year for the people that comes in running in at the beginning of the year, and then they take it out when it starts to slow back down. I think people get burnt out because you're in this rat race to get this goal accomplished, and it's really a journey. So over the next course of a couple of weeks, of course, we're gonna, depending on what's happening in the world and what's happening in Clean Greens, it may change, but I'm going to be sharing my journey of goal planning and how that's looking like with the garden and with getting organized and also my health. My focus isn't to get skinny. My focus is to feel good inside and to walk up the stairs without having to breathe, without feeling like I'm out of breath. One. And I want to do it naturally. And I am not against anybody who's doing anything other than eating healthy and doing different changes. So my goal is to do it healthier. I'm not taking anything out of my diet. I'm just scaling back. So those are the things that we're going to be doing and talking about over the next few years. I am sharing this with you so you can hold me accountable. And if you share with me, I can check in with you and see how you're doing. If you don't want to share and you just want to write it down and follow, that is also fine. I wanted to share with you guys a resource for your garden planning. I'm gonna be sharing resources over the next few weeks of people you could follow. You could follow one. You should already be if you're not, but please follow us on Clean Greens Farm Market on Instagram. We are also on Facebook. We are going to be a good resource. That's a goal that I have for work, is to be more intentional about updating our social media and our website. But you can follow us online for tips and updates. Also, there's this garden, it's Garden Array Co. It's GARDENARYCO on Instagram. That's a good resource to follow. She talks about, that's where I got the resources about, did you know about how gardening helps with your mental health? Being out in nature helps with your mental health, but also be aware of your surroundings. I seen this thing on Instagram where this guy was riding his bike around the mountains and he was being followed by a wolf. And lucky for him, there was a car behind him that was honking and scaring the wolf off and made him more aware. So yes, get out in the garden because that stuff like that scares me. And so that makes me not sometimes want to go out. Like I'm not going hiking in the mountains, but I will get out in my neighborhood. But I still should be aware. We still should be aware, even in our neighborhoods, you never know what's going to happen. So just be getting out in nature, but be aware. That also helps with mental health. When we talk about our community of color, our Black community, we never take the time to really hone in on our mental health. And not all of us, I won't say us in a whole, because some of us are starting to do that, but we didn't have the opportunities. I can tell you a lot of things always stems back from race. And I seen another thing, like, it's hilarious. You would have thought I was a grade A student in school when I was there, but I was not. But now I am a grade A student and I'm always seeking knowledge and I'm always learning new things. And I seen this study about how generational trauma impacts us in life. And so generational trauma from slavery on until now has impacted our community. And I think, I mean, and that's why, not I think, this is why Clean Greens was created, because we forgot where we came from. We forgot our roots. We forgot about how important it is to be out and growing our own food. We put too much of our hands into someone else because we say, oh, a lot of people think, oh, growing food is what the slaves did. No, growing food is what our ancestors did. They brought us here for a reason. So getting back to our root and getting back to our health and our mental health, that means getting in your garden. That means getting in some soil and growing food. And if you don't have a backyard, you can also grow on your patio. So we'll be talking about how you can grow food in your apartment, um, how you can come volunteer with us. We're getting ready to expand our garden in Seattle over at Amy Yee. Super excited about that. We are in the process of getting ready to start planning for this new year on the farm. So for those of you who's like, I can't come to the farm because it's too far or it's too strenuous, we also have a garden. We also have things you can do on the farm and in the garden that won't be as strenuous. So we'll be focusing on that and getting back to our health, getting back to our Mother Earth and nature. And for most of us who are believers, getting deeper in our faith and in our seeking wisdom from God. That's another goal that I'm working on is seeking wisdom from God. And also knowing as you are goal planning in this season, God has been speaking to me already. And it's just like showing me the importance of your community and who you have around you. The importance of having mentors and coaches. Needing a mentor and a coach or a therapist is there's nothing wrong with you. We were created to create together. We were created to support and help each other. So getting someone who can mentor you, who can help you and coach you through, those are things that we should be looking into. There's free coaches, there's church members, there's pastors. You guys look into that and get connected to people who are going to lift you up and show you the way, and support you. So that I just wanted to speak out and say that's one of the things that I need to one, I have a therapist, so I'm okay right now. And it's okay to have a therapist to be able to vent and let things out. But we really want to focus on our mental health because honestly, that is what's going to create a better world for us. It's starting with our mental health because if we are good mentally, we'll be good spiritually and we'll be able to focus and we'll be able to see the bigger picture, which is connecting with others and building a safer and better environment for everyone. So I said a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm super excited about this new year, which is weird. Usually I'm all like, "Nah," but I'm like, no. Last year I accomplished some goals, so now I feel really good. And it was only one goal, and it was so laxy daisy. Like I set a goal, I didn't really write it down. I didn't be specific about it. So when you're writing your goals, follow the SMART goal rule, which is be specific about what it is that you want to accomplish. And even if it's something that you think is out of this world, if it is going to help you help others, it can be accomplished. God wouldn't give you a vision and he wouldn't help you through it. Your job is to write it down and work towards it. And then he will align people around you to help you and support you. So don't worry about where the resources are going to come from. Don't worry about how you're going to get it done. If you have that vision, write it down and break it down and be specific about what you want. Um, Measurable. Is it measurable? Measure. Don't give yourself some crazy timeline dates to get things done. There are things that I want to get done that probably won't get done this year. It could get done this year, but it might not get done this year. Make sure that you are not giving yourself um, goals that you have to have done and it's stressing you out. Because if you're stressing you out, then you're going to get burnt out. Make sure they are measurable. Make sure you are setting dates for these goals to get accomplished that are reasonable and measurable for yourself and your time. Because, like, I work a full time job and I have kids. So, all my goals are going to have to work around that schedule. So, I'm not going to make any goals that's going to stress me out. What's the SMART goals? What is the other one? Achievable. Your goal, if are they achievable? I personally like to think goals are achievable if they are in your head, but what is it going to take to make sure that they're achievable? And I think when it says achievable, it's like, am I going to lose 190 pounds in 90 days? No, that's not an achievable goal unless you are taking all kinds of drugs to help you lose that weight and starving yourself. But make sure that you are writing achievable goals. So look, I'm trying to say smart. I'm trying to what is it? Spell it out and remember what it is. SMART. MAR. Let me look this up so I'm not over here struggling. Give me a second, y'all. And this is what I love. It's just like everything doesn't have to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. We always want to start somewhere, and it has to be, people feel like it has to be perfect. When you're starting out, things don't have to be perfect. Take your time. Make sure that make sure that you're just moving and you're starting and doing what you can. It does not have, I keep want to keep saying it, doesn't have to be perfect. But the R stands for relevant. Project goals should reflect company goals. Oh, sorry, that's for work, but for your life too. Your goals should reflect your goals. Wait, your project should reflect your goals. Sorry, I done went and got the wrong one. Again, does not have to be perfect. This is what it is. We are in real time talking about this. Realistic, that's what I'm talking about. So A was for actionable. Are you able to take action to achieve the goal? That's so SMART is specific, M is measurable, A is actionable. Are you able to achieve the goal? R is realistic. Avoid overwhelm and unnecessary stress, frustration by making a goal unrealistic. And time bound. T is for time bound. A date helps you stay focused. So give yourself a date, but remember to be measuring your goals. Measurable goals can be tracked, allowing you to stay on progress. They also tell you when a goal is complete. Make sure that when you're setting these dates, you're not stressing yourself out. Make sure they're reasonable, make sure they're actionable. Daniel is showing you where you can find it on Forbes. Make sure you're reading. Try reading. That's another goal. I love to read, but I haven't been able to like really read how I want to. That's another goal I want to do. Make sure you're always willing to learn and open to being teachable. All right, guys, that is time. You guys have a good day. I'll see you next week. And Chris, if you're watching, hey, bye.